Hi, I'm Elijah Benjamin, and here we have a simple series circuit using an Arduino Uno and a breadboard. Now, this series circuit works by sending out 3 short pulses of voltage and 3 long pulses of voltage, so that when it reaches our LEDs here, it'll give off blinks in an SOS pattern. Now, to begin, the voltage is carried from the 9 slot with our red jumper cable into our breadboard. The 9 slot is what pumps out the voltage in a pattern, and this jumper cable will put it into the breadboard to be carried horizontally. Now, once this section carries the voltage to our next jumper cable, it is then brought down to our central breadboard region. From there, it gets carried vertically into our momentary contact switch. Now, as we can see in the schematic here, whilst this momentary contact switch is not being pressed, this bridge is open, so the electricity cannot flow forward into the LED and resistors. So when we press down on this momentary contact switch here, like so, it'll close this gate and allow the voltage to flow through our first LED here and then into our resistor. Now this resistor is here to lower the voltage by adding resistance to our circuit. By lowering the voltage, it allows the LEDs to not burn out from being overcharged. Now, after it reaches our second LED, it is carried from this jumper cable here. Well, first it goes vertically up our breadboard into this jumper cable, into the ground slot of our breadboard. Now from there, it is carried by our ground jumper cable into the ground slot of the Arduino Uno, and the circuit is complete. Alright, here we have the program for this simple series circuit using the Arduino Uno. Here we have the serial print showing you after 3 short ons and offs, we get our O signal, and after 3 quick on and offs, we have our S signal. Now this will infinitely keep going in this pattern as our LEDs illuminate. Now as you can see here, I've wrote this explanation in my comment section above, and I've explained my circuit and how it functions in this comment below. After every line of code, you want to have a comment stating what your circuit's doing, like whether it's turning your LEDs on, whether you're displaying that your LED's on, or whether you're setting a delay. And that is how we set up our program for the Arduino Uno. Here's a video of my circuit functioning. Here you can see it's creating 3 short blinks and 3 long blinks in an SOS pattern, like so. After everything's done, I would then fill out my rubric for this project so that it can be graded by Coach L afterwards. Now, the grade you get is the grade you give yourself following the criteria, and the grade Coach L gives you, and then you average those 2 numbers. Hi, my name is Elijah Benjamin, and today I'll be showing you how to create and edit videos using the Screencastify Chrome extension and the VideoPad editor. Keep in mind that you can use any form of editing software you like, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use my personal preference. So, the first step we need to do is install the Screencastify extension. To do this, we're going to go to the Chrome browser's upper right hand corner and select More Tools and then Extensions. From here, it'll bring us to the Extensions tab, which shows us which extensions we have installed. From here, we're going to hit More Extensions from the Chrome Web Store. And once we are here, we're going to enter Screencastify right here. It'll appear once you type in screen, and add it to Chrome. Add extension. Now, this takes a couple seconds to install, and once it installs, it'll prompt us whether or not we want to save it to our drive or our computer. For the sake of this video, I'm going to choose to install all my files to my computer. Now, we're going to link it to our Google account here when we hit sign in. You can use your school email or your personal email. It's a personal preference. It doesn't matter. Alright, and we're going to hit skip on this tab and then just close this window because that'll bring up a tutorial that we don't care about. So what we're going to do is go over here. We're going to click on the extension and then set our settings. So first thing we're going to do is set our microphone to the one we want to use. In this case, I want to use my Razer Kraken USB. Now, next step is to change my video settings to give myself the maximum frame rate of 60 FPS and to remove this annoying countdown. You can keep it there if you like the countdown at the beginning of your videos, but I personally find them annoying. So I'm going to disable it for this video. So from there, now that they're all set up on the settings, we will hit record desktop, and then I'll bring up this window prompt here that once we hit share, it will start recording our screen. Alright, from here, we're going to navigate to our EMD folder, and we're going to open up our schematic. Here, we're going to use this picture to explain the components in our circuit, such as our switches, our LEDs, and our resistor. Now, once we're done with this part, we're going to hit stop sharing, and that'll bring us, from here, that'll bring us to the file location on our Google Drive. It's going to ask if I want to save it to my disk. You're going to hit yes. Alright, and now we have the schematic piece of our video. So we're going to keep that downloaded. Now for the next step, we're going to hit record screen again. This time, we're going to navigate to our breadboard. And from here, we're going to explain how our circuit fully functions, what it's doing, how the electricity is pathing through the wires into the breadboard, down through our components, and out through the ground. Now, when you're done with that part of your video, you can hit stop sharing again. Close this out. We're going to navigate, pause this, then hit save to disk once again. Alright, now that we have these two files saved to our disk, we now have to convert them to a file format that our video editor will accept. Alright, you see, these two files, when you download them from here, will be saved as WebM files. WebM files are essentially links and not video files, so most programs will either reject them, but in this case, my program will accept their video, but it won't accept their audio. So what we gotta do is we have to convert them using this website called onlineconvert.com. You can type it in by entering this link here. I'll leave it in the description of this video. But we're gonna go here. We're gonna go to the video converter section. We're going to select MP4. Now from there, we're gonna choose the file we want to convert. We're gonna start with this one here. This is the first one we downloaded. And then we're going to hit convert file. Now since this takes a second, we're just going to open the link again. Oops, I'm going to open it again by entering the URL once more. Video converter, MP4. Then we're going to choose the second file we downloaded. Boom. Now we're going to hit convert this. Now that one's converting. We're going to check on this one. Alright, this one's downloading as MP4 now. Alright, once these are complete, we will be able to enter them into our editing program. Now, if you will, we're going to open it up. We're going to save this other project I'm working on, open a new project. This is where you're going to create your video here, once our two files are finished downloading, like so. So what we're going to do is we're going to show in folder, and we're going to drag and drop the video files into our program, like so. Here is the second one, I believe. Okay. So, what we're going to do now is add a title page to your project. Now, to do this, we're going to add blank. This will set up a blank screen in any color we choose using this button here. So for this project, we're just going to use black. And we're also going to click on it and set our duration to 5 seconds. Just keep it on the screen for that amount of seconds exactly. Now, we're going to drag that into our video track here. And then from there, we're going to hit add text. Here's where we're going to actually fill in the text for our title page. So, for this, I'm going to enter simple series circuit. And then I'm going to hit enter, go below, type in by Elijah Benjamin. And from there you can just enter Coach L, EMD. Alright, boom. That's it. Now we can just drag that in here. Also make sure the text lasts for the same amount of time as the blank. So that way you have a nice little introduction here. Basic little black screen, text on it. Alright, the next step is to add transitions to our intro. So to do that, we're going to highlight where we want to enter the transition. So we're going to do it for video track 1 here, since that's our blank slate. Then we're going to set it to fade through white, since that's going to come into our video. We're going to do the same thing for the text here. Transition, fade through white, so it's the same as the intro block behind it. And then we can add the first piece of our video. Now if we play this through and make sure volume's nice and low so I don't blow your eardrums, you'll see it'll do a nice little professional fade, like so. We're going to navigate, and now you have your video introduction section complete. Alright, now our next step is to add a transition for the first half of our video, so it can transition into the second part where we talked about the breadboard. So to do this, we're going to highlight it again, and then we're going to add transition just like the other ones. But this time we're going to choose fade black. This is because this is essentially switching between two chapters of your video, if you would, instead of coming from the intro to the outro. And the intro is like a black screen coming to a white video, so it looks a lot smoother if you do it like this. So, before we just drop in our second half of the video, we're going to add another add blank to space out the time between talking in each video. For instance, if I drag the video in here, the moment I stop talking in this clip, I'd immediately start talking in the next video clip. So to prevent that from happening, I'm going to add like a buffer using this clip here. Now you don't want this to be too long. We're going to only make this about like 1 or 2 seconds. Not 32. For the sake of this video, I'm going to do 1 second, like so. And then we're going to add the next half right here. We play this through. When you're done with that part of your video, you can just stop sharing. Alright, from here, we're going to doesn't look bad. Just make sure when you stop talking here, it doesn't like cut your voice off when you're recording. The reason that happened here is because that was just a test recording to make sure the software is working, so it's fine. So, now that your first transition's done, you're going to need the video of the program working. Right now what you're going to do is you're going to share your screen using the Screencastify again. We're going to go to our program, watch it run. We're going to click the serial monitor button here. Make sure auto scroll is unchecked. So it'll force scroll you down as the program runs. So you want this unchecked so that you can show Coach L what your program is doing without having it forced down, so you can read what the serial prints are actually saying. Now you can also explain your program using your comments and your digital rates, your delays, etc. Now when you're done with that, hit stop recording. What you're going to do is you're just going to download it, go through the conversion process again. And once you're done converting it, once again, we're just going to drag it into your videos like so. And we're going to add one more transition, copy. Just paste it at the end of this one. And now finally, we can add our program clip. Let me turn it down a bit. Let's watch. Make sure this is nice and neat with our fade. Now what you're going to do is you're going to watch it run. Alright. And now our serial prints section of the video is complete. Now, next step you're going to take is we're going to set a fade at the end of this, like so. And then we're going to take the video of your circuit working and put that at the end. So I already have that imported. I moved it there by accident. So all we have to do, just drag it in front. Make sure there's a transition between the two again, like so. Now, once we're done explaining our program, we should have a silent video of our circuit working. Make sure yours is taking in a bright room, unlike mine. I had points marked down for that. And once you have that done, you can simply add another fade, like so. Little transition block. Just copy and paste it again. Paste. And drag. Right. Now, we're going to insert the photos of both the back and front of our teacher and student assessment rubric. Now, you don't want to download those files to your computer, like I already have. And then we're just going to drag and drop both of them into our project like so. Alright, so here's the side of our rubric, and here's the back side of our rubric. Don't really need to transition for these, just let them play through and talk about them as they flip over. Since they count as one section, you don't need a transition here at all. And once you're done with that, you can start working on your exit page. Now, to do that is the same exact thing as creating an intro. Just add a blank, make it black, add text. Then here we can write, "Thanks for watching." Or you could just enter who it was by, add some credits, or some links for contact, whether it be your channel or whatever. And once you're done with that, just enter it, just drag and drop once again. Make sure you set the fade at the end of your video, so when you transition in, just be like, "Thanks for watching." And your video is just about done. Now, bonus clip. This is going to be some technical help for anybody struggling with both microphone and camera integration. So, a lot of people can't use their microphones with their computers for whatever reason. So, a solution to that is record the video with your Screencastify, so, and when you do so, you can just put it in there in your file like so. For example, we're just going to use the pictures here. So say I want to talk about these rubrics, but I didn't take a video of me talking over them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record audio of myself, right, like so, using this program. I'm going to set a name for this. I'm going to set it to rubric explanation. That way we have it labeled and know what it is when we need to find the audio file later. And I'm going to hit this red dot when I'm ready. So say if I wanted to explain this rubric is used to show my engineering design, organization, peer teaching, engineering notebook, program analysis, all-encompassing design, and cool factor in order to grade myself on how well I thought I did this project and also how well my teacher thinks I performed. Now, your final grade will be the average of your total and your teacher's total. And through this, you find out how well you've concluded this project on your simple series circuit. So then I just hit stop recording like so. Just close this window. And now I have this rubric explanation audio file here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop this right under where I want it to be. So since I'm using images here and they're not long enough, I'm just going to drag it out roughly halfway through this audio file for the first picture, and the other half, let's drag it back in position, and the other half can go to the end, like so. So now if I hit play here, this rubric is used to show my engineering design, organization, peer teaching, engineering notebook, program analysis, all-encompassing design, and cool factor in order to grade myself on how well I thought I did this project and also how well my teacher thinks I performed. Now, as you can see, you could add a media file, whether it was image or video, and if it didn't have audio, you could simply just place in the recording by dragging and dropping it underneath at the specific point you wanted it. So, say you needed to do this for your serial prints or for your rubric discussion, now you know how. So, that's not the only way you can do this. Say you're not using Video Editor and you have a software that can't record audio directly by itself. You could just use your cell phone, download any microphone program off of your App Store or Apple Store, whatever software you use, and you could just import the audio file by putting it on your computer, putting it in like your music or something, grabbing that audio file, and then just gently dragging and dropping it into here. Then from there, you could place it in your project wherever you like, if you needed it, and your video is good to go. Now, we have our intro, our schematic scene, our breadboard scene, our program functioning in front of us with its serial prints, our circuit functioning, our rubric, our fades, and our exit page. So, once you have everything in Coach's rubric complete, you can simply export the video by going to File, clicking Export Video, and then here you can select the format and the frame rate. I recommend 60 FPS since that's the smoothest frame rate you can get, and for resolution, depending on whether or not you have a problem with hard drive space in your computer and this video file might be too big, you could tone down the resolution of your video to lower the quality but lower the size as well. But since I have a computer that can handle the space of a 1080p video, I'm just going to save it like so. And also make sure you give it a name. I'm just going to call this Series Circuit Example. And then we're going to hit Create. Now, converting a video to export can take anywhere from a couple seconds to a couple minutes depending on the size. So, alright, finally. Now that our video is finished exporting, we're going to open the location folder, and we're going to check to make sure it's all good. Alright, now it's fully saved, ready to be uploaded to either YouTube or your Google Drive. Now, to do either, we can simply go to a tab, select our Google Drive, and once it loads, we're going to select whatever folder of choice. I'm going to use my EMD folder, and from there, I'm going to drag and drop this example here, so that if this was a serious project, I'd be able to just download it on the school computers after finishing it up at home. And yeah, so you transfer it. Now, say you wanted to send it as a link and view it easier, you could just go to YouTube, click their upload button, and just select the file. Or just drag and drop. It's a lot easier if you do that. Now I'm just going to cancel because I don't want to upload an example file. So yeah, that is how you create your circuit video. And I hope that was helpful for you. If you have any questions, leave a comment in the section below. And I will try to leave links in the description to help you out with your project. I've been Elijah Benjamin. Thanks for watching. Signing off.